Your truck's still on your out front, Kyle.
Yeah.
Were you able to take care of that okay, or did
I
you get in
did,
trouble? No trouble?
Yeah. It's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure like nothing bad happened.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
It is parked at work now. 30 miles away. We'll probably sit there for a while because I honestly don't get that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll go ahead and start it.
That Alex, your son? Alexander Maurice. I don't know your last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stomach ache.
I mean, I don't judge.
I know, where's it going?
You had a good time? Good for you.
So Jack, have you been here before? Are you new? Are you a member?
I'm not a member. I'm 17. I want to be a member when I turn 18.
I was like, it's just this month. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Ah, happy early birthday then.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah.
Yeah, what day is it again?
The last day of May 31st.
Ah, gotcha.
Got a bunch of May birthdays here. Adam's is like 2 days, right?
Yep, 22nd.
2 days long.
Adam's, yeah, it's going to be 2 days long because he's going to be in the middle of moving.
So,
It's going to be weeks long.
I'm vlog.
No?
That's what I've been doing.
When's yours?
2 days ago.
Okay.
I
Happy
don't
belated
even bother
birthday.
reminding me.
Mine was the 7th.
Happy belated.
Yeah. A handful.
Should we just get a cake? I'm just wondering, should we get a cake and just?
I mean, we should just have a cake for every member meeting. Some my name curry. That some punch and pie. For, to get some that might increase attendance.
I mean, it kind of
Expense
might.
process, fuck off.
I thought about doing that. I thought about doing like you know, some kind of snack or something, or not necessarily a snack, but something better, like I don't know, not as big as what we did for the other events, but making it a little bit bigger.
You know, Disney World gives you free admission on your birthday.
Yeah, I had a problem.
With us?
Shut up for me.
Disney World.
Do they really?
I don't know if they still do, but it's less than I want.
I had no problems. They showed up for me, which is surprising. There can be problems I've had.
It's like a decade ago. Nobody's ever corrected me on it. I know Legoland doesn't give discounts for your birthday. I know because one of my friends wants to come and visit us in June and go to Legoland with his daughters.
You will understand.
And I've always wanted to go to a Legoland ever since I was little.
Yeah, you use the lunch.
But when I was really into it and we had free resources, there was only one Legoland, and it was in Boulogne, Denmark. Hello. Oh, puppy.
Where's the cutie pie?
Right here.
That's Eleanor. She went over big with the inventors meeting. I said, you want to lunch here while I'm cutting metal? They just ate her up.
Yeah.
But you let me know when it's tired enough.
Half figures?
She's very friendly, wouldn't bite anyone.
A strudel.
That's for the stream.
Smell some food, yeah.
That's the audio. That's the audio.
Oh my.
I didn't sure if you're
I know, I didn't say
I wasn't sure if your cast was this one, because I was just gonna chat, but if you can.
Oh, I can do that. Multitasking.
All right, guys. 6 after. Justin, you got notes?
Yes, sir.
All righty. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody that joined on the.
One next to me.
You're not getting her back.
You know, people love.
Anyway, thank you everybody that joined. Thank you everybody that joined remotely and have shown up on site. It's awesome to see so many people there. I kind of wish I was there today, but I got a lot going on with this house buying crap. But so just as a reminder, everybody that is joining remotely, please mute your mics. And if you want to say something, just go ahead and raise your hand. We'll get to you. People in the lab, I can only see so many right now. So for that, what we'll have to do is, I had a brain fart. Oh, Justin can just, I guess Justin, just raise your hand if you see somebody wants to say something, and then we'll. Yeah, there you go.
I'm on the edge.
I meant.
Jack will be in charge of that because he's right.
I don't know why my presenting just stopped. So yeah, and then don't forget crosstalk, especially since I'm presenting from remote now. When you talk, it gets very confusing if anybody remote is talking as well. So try and do the raised hand thing. Somebody just raised their hand. I heard the alert. I think. No.
Please sign in.
Oh,
Yes, it's here.
Okay.
It's impossible to read.
Oh. Yes. So go ahead and please sign in to the form. It's familab.org. l.familab.org/sign in. You also linked it into the chat. Pinned it too. Was that a Kyle thing? And give a minute for everybody to do that, and then we'll move on. It just helps us properly track the number of people that come to the meetings and whatnot, so that we can use that for future use. All right, so moving on, financial update. It looks like we have a total of 60. I think this is as of the board meeting. I think, Justin. I think we got a couple more after this. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check.
Correct. Those not counting the new signups from last week.
Okay, so we do have 60 full paying and about 18 special cases. The P&L for April is we're negative 642. However, when you look at that, that includes $400 from the signage. So on an overall, an overall look of it, we're really kind of negative 242 when it comes down to like normal monthly. But keep in mind that things like this are the things that the board has decided to pick up more often. So those extra members and extra donations help go towards things like that we can do. We just decided as the board collectively decided that we really needed a sign. And although we had members with a bunch of ideas, we weren't getting members with the time or ability to make one at the time. So we just went ahead and did it. Especially with one of our members was donating, I think, a good half of it.
Yeah.
So is that right? Only half of it was covered? Or no, I don't want to say only half because it's still a lot.
Yes, and Johan was fine with admitting it. Johan pitched in.
Okay.
Double big chunk of it. So it only cost us $400.
Right.
Well, so it's in the signage notes, but push us over. That helped us make the decision with, cleaner, because at that point, $400 also with including installation, so no one had to get up on the ladder and put it up on the wall, up on the thing, was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Is it wasn't just just the sign. It was the sign and the install, the professional install, and everything. So, and I think it was well worth it. I think, and I cleared it with the landlord. I think at some point we should put there's solar lights that you can get so that it'll charge up during the day, and then at night it'll shine down on the sign because as you can tell, even now it's starting to get dark already, kind of. And that's kind of what we do is we do later night stuff. So I think that would be advantageous of us to install later. And if we do solar one, we don't have to worry about running the electrical and dealing with all that. So I think that would be just an idea I'm throwing out there for us to ponder about and talk about. So with that, 10 additional members, full paying members, or average full paying members. I think 10 will put us at a very comfortable spot. Right now, I wouldn't say we're extremely bad off, but we're still not in the green. And the longer we go in the green, the longer we eat through the savings, and then FamiLAB is no more. So just keep that in mind when you're talking about FamiLAB to other people, or just if you have free time and want to go out and hand out flyers or something. We really don't need that many more members to get us out of the red. And then once we get out of the red and we get more into the green and start making more money, that's more stuff that we can pour back into the lab for things like tools and projects and things like that. So part of our increased costs too, though. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Some questions. Comments.
Yeah.
I owned a sign company for 6 years, and I wound up doing screen printing, usually 100 at a time. And I wrote down a number of a sign maker that said they're very inexpensive and quick. It used to be like $200 for 100 signs, single side, one color. And I think that it's a couple of things you could target where you want your customers to come from. In other words, in this area would be the people that would desire it the most because they're not so far away.
Right.
And you could pick nice neighborhoods, where you tend to have people that are less likely to maybe, be so poor they feel like taking things when they leave. And it's not always poor, But the point is, those signs, it's a matter of where you can put them. But if you have 100 signs made up that don't even have to have a phone number, it could just say local makerspace, FamiLAB and the website or something. I really think you get those people in no time.
You're thinking of like yard sign type signs?
Yard signs.
Okay, just to be.
And I can even contribute a bunch of stands I still have.
Okay. Let's talk after the meeting on that one. I'm happy to chat about that. Thank you.
Sure.
Do we know how many new memberships we got in the last month? 'Cause I thought there was probably a good amount.
So we got 2 just last week. This is the month-to-month timestamp. So just last week we picked up 2. We haven't counted him yet for the end of the month. So I mean, we've had some good traction. Like if you look at the last 3 months, I think we picked up 5 new in the last 2, like net. So we do have some good traction going. The 70 number is including, we've had a couple months where, so beginning of the year, we have a couple of annual costs that come in that hit earlier in the month. Utilities are about to go back up again as we're getting the weather. So that's going to be like next month will probably be a little bit higher from a utilities perspective as well. So that's why that 70 target would be was slightly in the black on average. So that's just so everybody knows that's our target. The real question is, can we get to 80, which, would be to build back up some savings to weather, when people have to leave, when, things happen to everybody. So but right now, as we talked about at the board meetings, the big number is getting to 70 would give us enough of a leeway. 67 is probably the mathematical number. But to make it nice and easy, let's get to 70. That gives us, somebody leaves for a couple months before we get a new member to replace them. We're in that wheelhouse, and then continue to grow from there. That's through the changes.
I struck up a conversation with somebody at the library. I was just observing the 3D printer there, and he came up and we started talking, and he says he's interested in coming to the lab to see what it's like.
Awesome.
And I told him ahead of time, it's $75 a month. He's like, "Wow, you're quite the salesman." But he's probably gonna come this Saturday.
Excellent. We got
I'm gonna call to remind him we exchanged phone numbers.
well, even better. It's the best way to do it. So perfect. Yeah, Saturdays are open house. That we talked about later. So awesome. Sorry, Adam. Back to you.
Adam, are you live?
Bueller.
Yeah, I was muted. I was flipping through PayPal. I was trying to, because usually in PayPal you can actually see somewhere. I can't, because I'm trying to hurry up and do it. Of course, I can't find it now, but there's one that shows like how many subscriptions you had in the last 30 days. But yeah, I was gonna try and give you an exact number there, but I can get it later. But yeah, I think Justin's pretty close to that. I don't think we've lost any lately, which is good. But I mean, a lot of our loss for members is financially tied. So I don't think there's not much that we're doing wrong. I do know that some members have left because they kind of like don't see the value because they have the access to those tools at home, for instance. So we want to make sure that we're also selling the community and learning aspect as well to the lab. It's not just a place to use tools like how Factor was. It's you're getting the whole community and the whole ability to learn new skills and new ways of using those skills, basically. So yeah.
I like to say we're not just building things; we're building a community.
Yes, correct. And in order to do that, it's not just talk about it though, but also we need to. I mean, I'm beating a dead horse here, but it's about doing the things at the lab, which I've seen a lot more of and is extremely cool. But I promise you, I will never stop talking about it because that's the number one thing that the lab needs in order to gain its membership and keep its membership is to continue to have events and even just like if you're just working on something, like say you're turning something on the lathe or on the metal lathe or welding or something like that. If you don't mind people popping in and asking you questions or just watching what you're doing, post it in Slack and say, hey, I'm going to be by. I got this project I need to weld up. If anybody wants to, get some tips or learn with me, feel free to stop by. I know sometimes the last minute stuff seems to work better than the scheduled stuff. So just throwing that out there. But before we move on, does anybody have any more questions about or comments about the financial side?
Was your P&L for this month including my 5 monthly payment?
I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I think
every other month, right?
Yeah, I don't think we spread yours out. I'm not sure. I have to talk to Lily about that. So if you paid it for, was it May? No.
I think it was this due.
Yeah, I think it is on it. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I think it is on it. So I mean, that kind of stuff will make it bounce up and down a little bit, but the average is still there. So
yeah.
Anybody else?
Nope.
All right. Moving on. So signage we just talked about. The sign is up. Thank you to Johan for the cost to the lab. Was only $400. It was about an $800 sign with installation and everything. Landlord approved the solar light. Okay. Was this your notes or was I just jumping ahead of
literally what I put in as the agenda, Adam. So it's not you
wow.
ahead. The only thing I wanted to add is we looked at it. It's about $80 for a nice quality sign that's going to go up there. With it being later into the day right now, we'll look to do it closer to fall. Also, let's not put it up in the middle of storm season, candidly.
Yeah.
So, but if anybody wants to pitch in on one, we've looked to do it. It's about $80.
For the solar part?
Or a solar, a good sized light that'll light up the sign and for and solar.
Is the Harbor Freight price or?
No, that's an Amazon price, so
Okay.
something in between.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on, board,
John's got
the current board. What's up?
We could convince Amazon to donate us.
no,
Okay. Never mind.
unless you know Jeff personally.
He's
Yeah. They even got rid of their normal stuff they were doing, but
Yeah.
like Amazon Smile. Anyway, so board, as usual, current board members are still continuing on, but our terms all end the end of next year. Obviously, some of us could, be reinstated because it's only the first term for all of us technically. But we really need to get new faces in there, new ideas, and extra help. It's getting to the point. It's starting to really get to the point to where the board isn't doing everything anymore. And first of all, I appreciate that everybody that's been helping out more. It's starting to get to the point to where we want it, where ops is kind of more of the ops, and the members is kind of more of what handles the day to day of the lab itself. And then when it comes to legal and paperwork side, taxes and things like that, or even policy changes or whatnot, that's where the board comes in. So again, board isn't like it used to be. I know it used to be boards where you go to leave the lab or to hate the lab or something like that. Forget what the phrase was, but it's really not like that. It's actually pretty enjoyable. You get to talk to more people about the business side and kind of get I don't know if you're interested. I kind of like the business side of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. You get a little bit from that and you learn a bit more. So if anybody's interested, please let us know. Especially the next coming months. June is going to be really tough for us. Justin is going to be out of town most of the time. And I am going to be closing on this house tomorrow. So I have a lot of moving to do. I got a lot of fixing up there to do. And it's like an hour and a half away from the lab. So it's a possibility that I won't be spending nearly as much time at the lab. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in board, or if you're interested in doing more for the lab in terms of ops, please reach out to any of us, and we'll point you in the direction of getting started. Go ahead.
Out of town. I'm literally out of town May 31st, coming back June 3rd. So that is planned now. I wasn't sure if I'll come back a little bit earlier. So I'll join remotely for board and the meetings and anything we can do on the remote side, but I will physically not be able to come here and do anything during the entire month. So definitely need some extra help to help Adam with his extra, since he's going to be gone as well during that month.
The biggest thing I think we need help with, I will be there. I'll make sure and be there for the membership meeting. But the biggest thing is the open houses and the social nights, because that's where new people have been showing up. So we want to make sure we have at least a few faces there that are willing to give tours. So if you have any questions about how to do a tour, if you're new, let us know. But basically, you probably took the tour at one point. All it really is walk around the lab and show off the stuff you like. Stuff you don't know anything about, just point to it and say that thing's cool. So, I mean, most of the time people understand that what things are and what they like and what they want to do anyway. So yeah, I would ask that we can try your hardest to get to open house, or especially open house, but also the social nights, because I do not think I'll be able to make it to hardly any of them this month, this next coming month and a half actually.
And a good anecdote to that is 2 weeks ago on social night, no one made it. It wasn't an open house scheduled. we had 3 people try to stop by that would have been potential new members. Luckily, 2 of them came the following week for the open house. So, but anytime we can have it, it's, we always tell people, usually at social night there's somebody here, and 95% of the time, naturally, there has been somebody on Tuesday nights, but usually one of them is me or Adam, so we can make sure that, we get some extra tenants those times. So I know if you can't do it, you can't do it, but if it's just a little extra effort to make it on those Tuesdays for the month of June, would be much appreciated. And Adam quits sharing it.
Yeah, I don't know what is my problem. And now it's
That's a
like
different
if I click it to minimize it, it goes away rather than, I don't know. Give me a second. I do know what was on there though. So house cleaning. Wow, it's not letting me share it again. All right, I'm not going to close it and reopen it. So you guys have the link. Housekeeping. So dust collection is 95% complete in the wood shop. Justin and I busted ass to get that to the point to where it's at. Kyle helped us out with a few of our minor mistakes. So we also have the fan filter box. That seems to work really good. I didn't think that was going to do much of anything. It's basically just what was it, Justin? Like a filter just kind of attached to a fan.
Yeah, we literally have a little 20 by 20 by 1 filter attached to a box fan. It does help take some of the stuff out of the air. I used it next to when I was sanding and was pleasantly surprised with the amount of not dust in the air.
What, you said 20 by 20?
20-inch.
Oh,
by
20 inch. Okay, I think the
Yeah.
20 millimeters.
I use Freedom units.
Oh, okay.
But no, there's tape fans we use together. It's actually those same filters we use for the AC unit in the workshop, so it's convenient. But I was pleasantly surprised at how much dust just from rough sanding it pulled out because I turned it on high next to where I was sanding. So I just wanted people to be aware that that does work better than, it's not perfect, but it does help just to keep some of the particulate out of the air. Now that we've got full trunk dust collection and that just to help mitigate some of the dust in the shop as we're doing stuff. So if it's not in the way, turn it on while you're working. Is the only ask.
Okay.
So I think at this point the thing that is left is adapters, which can mostly be 3D printed. I think if not, we can find them somewhere. But we also need a little bit of hose. I'm not sure if we figured out exactly what size yet or whatnot, Justin. But I think once we get that, we may ask for extra donations because Justin had already put out a good amount of money for the dust collection for a donation. So it would help if we get that final part done by members. But it's amazing. I don't know if you guys used it yet, but the floor sweep is freaking awesome. And the chop saw, the cut for the chop saw is pretty badass as well because it just sucks in everything. It's got so much good suction going since it's been rewired the 220 and everything. So
yeah, so our I don't know, I can't read what the
Dust collection is kick-ass.
dust collection is kick ass per D. So thank you, D. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We got the floor sweep next to the lathe, so when you're sweeping up stuff, turn it on and suck it all up. We do want to put up some sort of dust hood for the lathe as well. It's a slightly larger project, and then it's just reducers for the smaller tool section over here. Each individual tool is going to have a different adapter at some point. So we're trying to come down from a 4-inch to like a 2.5-inch hose, and then adapters for each one after that. That'll cover, at that point, we'll be 100% complete because there's not much else to do. And then it'll be when you're hand sanding, just use the walt or whatever. But the wood shop's been getting a lot of use, which is awesome. And so getting that done became a priority because we wanted to keep as much stuff out of the air as possible. Right.
Yeah, with that said though, with it getting more use is just make sure. Remember, we got a smaller spot than we had before. So make sure if you're leaving a project out, try not to leave it out for very long, and then just clean up after yourself. Which I haven't seen much of that on the negative side. So I think everybody's doing pretty good. I have seen a couple times people haven't cleaned up all that much, but I've been a culprit of that myself, so I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, I mean, just try your best. Stuff happens. We forget. It's not a big deal. The biggest thing is just leaving your projects out. I mean, a glue up's a glue up. You can't really move a glue up very easily. So, but at least post something and Slack or something saying when you'll be back, or leave a note by it, just something like that, so that people don't move it and mess with it and cause you problems at all.
Yeah, I think the takeaway there is clean up the leftover pieces of your project, try to organize as much as you can before you leave, and then if it's a glue up with the timestamp, something like that, post it, because that way, if you can't come back for 2 days, but the glue up's going to dry in 12 hours, at least people can move it out of the way as needed.
Just write it on a sticky note.
Oh yeah, or blue tape and a sticky note too. But I also think Slack's double, so that way if you walk in, you can find it.
Yeah, definitely put a date on it too, because that's kind of like, like I said, shit happens. If you can't make it back the next day when you thought you would, and it's going to be a couple more days, somebody could get it out of the way and make sure it doesn't get damaged and everything. But they don't want to touch it if they think you just glued it up, right? So, just something to consider. Put a date on it as well. That's my opinion anyway. Okay, moving on. Leaks. The leaks in the roof had been worked on. That's a question for myself because I haven't gotten back with the landlord to see if it actually was. I believe it was though. I don't think it's rained again since those leaks. Has it or?
Not heavily enough.
Okay. So obviously we're in storm season, so we're going to see if it happens again very shortly.
We had about leaks in the workshop area.
Right across.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's fine. That's kind of another thing about leaving your stuff out. Be careful because there are some leaks here and there, and some of them do actually hit the tables. But thank you to Kristen for taking a bunch of pictures and stuff. That really helped us give details to the landlord of where they were at. So what we'll do is I think we'll just wait for the next rain and check on it and follow up with the landlord. Unfortunately, this building is pretty old, so I am positive this is going to be a ongoing battle every year. But the landlord is very reactive about it. So as soon as we tell him that there's leaks, he usually gets his guy out there within a decent amount of time to try and patch them. The guy that he has repaired just isn't great with communication though. He was supposed to tell me if he needed in, and I don't know if it was him or not, but somebody was banging on the door, scaring the crap out of people that were there. So yeah. Anyway, we'll follow up with the landlord and see how that goes. Just be aware, it's a thing we're gonna have to battle from year to year. It's not major, and if it does become major, we'll discuss it more with the landlord. Any questions about housekeeping?
Nope.
All right, moving on to Maker Faire. It's in November. They actually posted dates. It's like November 8th and 9th, something like that. It's not too early to start thinking about what you want to plan to make for this year. It's never too early, in my opinion.
We're about to do it's not too late. Start to think about something you wanted to make because 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely can run into that it's too late aspect because if you got a big project and you're trying to do it the weekend before, it can be pretty painful and then the project's not fun, right? So that's not the point of it. But we're hoping to get more stuff that's interactive. We have a few things going on. We've talked about it a few times, so I'm not going to run through all of it again. If anybody has any questions, just ask about it and Slack, or you can join the Maker Faire Slack. But if you want ideas of something to make, please ask because I have billions of projects that I would love to see made, but I just don't have the time to do them. So I might be able to help you find something, or we have a list of ideas. I'm sure Justin could help you find something. So just ask around. But the key is something interactive because that's what keeps people kind of at the booth and attracts more people to the booth.
I don't want
go
to,
ahead.
because I thought about this as I was reading this again. We've been asking for interactive because, to Adam's point, it helps people come to the booth. But if you have something else you want to make that's just looks cool or something you like, please make it and just let us borrow it for the event. Because we want to show off the things that you can do here that the members are making. Interactive is fun, and it's from a salesy perspective, it helps pull people in, but also just really cool looking stuff. So anything that you want to make, please just do that as well. And from the ideas perspective, a lot of the stuff that Adam and I found are honestly pretty cool kit ideas that can make cool, fun toys, etc. That might expand one of your skill sets as well as also do something that shows off. So again, the different ideas that we came across when we were trying to brainstorm for last year's Maker Fair that we just ran out of time on, that are still in our back of our minds, but also something you're thinking about, bring it up. We got enough people around. I'm sure we can find something that can help work with you on that.
Yeah, and the lab is also doing what we did last year. Is the $500 available for supplies, or something towards your project. So all you got to do is tell us what you're going to do and give us a plan and let us know. And the board will talk about it, and then we'll approve or most likely never decline it. If it's something too extreme though, that's where it's going to get denied because we don't want to give you a bunch of money for something and then you aren't able to achieve the goal of making it for Maker Faire. So try and keeping it reasonable and something that you can complete. But again, if you need help with it as well, reach out to the membership. There's members that just don't really make stuff themselves, but help others make things. And they are still around and still willing to do that. So if you got a fairly big project, you want to start on it now, but you need somebody that does maybe programming help or somebody that knows the electrical side of it, just reach out in Slack and you'll probably get some help. Okay. I lost my agenda. There it is. Okay. Moving on. What else we got? Workshop, open house. What's this one about, Justin?
That's just our placeholder for, again, we always want to fill the calendar. If you got some workshops, any other ideas that you want to bring up, now's a good time to bring it up today. If there's something you're like on the fence about, you want to bring up by membership, please feel free to always to ask us and start our reminder and our plug for always. We want more events on the calendar. So something you want to bring up now or grab me or Adam at some point.
Yep. Always need stuff.
Oh.
Again, I will beat that dead horse until it's.
And then
I guess I don't know.
We got something now.
I just want to update that I will be bringing in my TIG welder.
Okay.
Probably towards at least a week from now, but towards the end of the month, I'm welding a 6-foot by 10-foot aluminum frame for a trailer. And if I could be doing it here, I'd already have it here. But I'm doing it at home.
Okay.
And maybe towards the end when I'm adding the things, so I can put 2x4s in to make sides for it, and things I can do outside, But I just wanted to say I expect to be leaving about a week into June, maybe a little longer. People tell me they want to learn how to TIG weld. I'll spend time with them. I go up north until something like September or early October, and I'm a metal worker for 40 years. I can build and fabricate, and I'm willing to help anybody with their projects. I don't have any problem spending time helping people. I don't really care about. The only thing I know is if I'm making stuff for somebody and they're charging somebody else for it.
Right.
I have done some of that to extreme at one time.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
When you're doing that, because I would love to practice and learn a little bit, but.
Yeah, just post it in Slack when you're going to be here, that you're offering to show people?
On general or welding or?
For welding, like.
I would do
wanna-
general and welding, just in case,
So
if you don't
people can
mind.
see it, yeah.
Yeah. And if you forget, we'll probably, cop forward it off too, but, that's awesome, because, yeah, I know a lot of people want to learn how to TIG weld. I'm one of them, but I won't be here. So, if you need somebody else to teach me, that's great.
And I have a MIG for sale, you know, a Miller-Matic 150. This kind of commercial machine.
If you want to post that on Stuff Exchange and see if anybody wants to buy from this or our Slack
Okay.
channel for that.
Yeah, I'd make someone
If you want
really
to
cheap.
see somebody here wants to get it first before you deal with Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I was gonna say something else about that, but I forgot. I would love to do the TIG welding as well. It's just a bad time for me, but I may abandon house stuff for that. So
You'll need a break at some point, Adam.
right,
I'm
exactly.
sure you can find something aluminum that needs to be welded at the new place. You know,
Oh, definitely, I'm sure. All right, so we also have the Amazon wish list. It's basically just for people who want to help with a donation, but don't necessarily want to do cash donations. Would rather make sure it goes to something, especially if it's maybe something they use or want to use. For instance, on there's a air filter for the water separator air filter thing for the Boss laser. That's one of the reasons it's not really running right now. Is we don't really have the filter for it, so it kind of spits water if it gets too much condensation in it. So things like that are on there. If you want to add anything to it, let me know. We could always add it or just post it in Slack and tag the board about it. We can get it added to it. I actually need to change this link in the agenda at some point because it's since I fixed the link shortener, the l.familab.org/Amazon is going to be is active now. That'll take you straight to the list, and those get shipped to my house. I'll have to change the address here coming soon, but I will always have people available to accept packages, so we don't really have to worry about like porch pirates or anything like that. It's not going to get delivered to the lab and sit outside the lab for 3 days until somebody comes by. So just keep that in mind. And then, if you don't want people to know, and this goes for any donation you have, if you just want to donate anonymous, just make sure you note that so that we don't accidentally say it. But if you don't put your name on it, even if I know who donated it, I'm not going to say who it was by default, but just throwing that out there as well. Moving on, outreach. So yeah, we're working on that project for the kids' toys for donating to. I've talked enough. Justin, can you take this one?
Yeah, so we're still working on that project for the kids' toys. Actually, brought the book in today as an example. Something along these lines. We picked the crocodile and the shark to work on. That is actually what we're going to do for woodworking class tomorrow. We're going to use the X-Carve machine to try to do the example, to try to make the model that we have. Finally got the right wood, the mill up some wood, but we got thick enough wood to try it out. If everything works the way we want to, that's going to be a combination outreach / maker fair events. And then with that, the ask will be, get a couple people together. We'll do the prep work. We'll need some sanding and some other hands-on action later, which will be part of outreach. And then our next outreach actual meeting is going to be Thursday, June 5th. Love, again, continue to have more participation in that, about ideas about what we can do for to get that member count up, as well as partner with the community in different things. So it's the plug for that one in advance. And we have a guest speaker now for the rest of the meeting. Adam's puppy.
He just came and sat on me, so I figured I'd show him off. All right, so now I can't use this arm. Okay. So the idea of the prep, we already went through all that. June 5th. Oh yeah, so The next meeting for outreach is June 5th. We really need more participation with the outreach because again, this is ideas and whatnot that we have for. All right, you're in the way. For how we get more members. Yeah, he's not impressed. It's how we get more members and how we get more interaction and things going at the lab is we talk about it in outreach. So I do know that we have a lot of people with a lot of good ideas. Just keep in mind that we also need people to do those ideas and take part in them. But outreach is really where you want to voice those and where you want to discuss a plan and see who else can be involved in it. So I encourage anybody to join it and bring your ideas and bring your schedule because we really need you to, like I said, we really need you to do those ideas, not just throw them out there. Something was just beeping. Does that mean? No. Okay.
Good.
All right.
Question,
what's up?
we have like handout cards or like little pamphlet things?
We do. So if you want a couple of those, we got some up front. I'll grab them for you. I'll unhide them later. I think they're underneath those.
That's fine, I'll figure it out.
Yes, we do have some.
Great.
Yeah, feel free to take a handful of them. I have a small handful that I put in my truck because we recently went to Maker Faire Miami and didn't think to bring, or well, we forgot to bring them with us. So I wanted to make sure that I had those in my truck. So I just put a bunch in the glove box for when I need them. So yeah, feel free to grab anybody. Feel free to grab any. Just make sure you're giving them out or using them. That's all. Any other questions? Alrighty.
Got one.
Sorry.
I remember reading over the your Google Docs real quickly. Was there something about board members needing more board members?
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Really quick. Yeah, we have 4 board members.
Okay, yeah.
Right now, we're looking for 3 more before we just have some extra help and
Sure.
redundancy. Adam, myself, Matthew hasn't been here for a bit. He's been busy with Epic Universe.
Right, I
And,
was
yeah.
reading
And
how like you are gonna be busy next month or
And
something.
then yeah, I'll be out of town for the entire month of June, and Adam's moving, so we're gonna be a little light just around here as well, so helping out in general perspective. But if you're interested in talking about board, grab us after the meeting.
Sure.
Grab me to that.
Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I'll ask you after.
Cool. Anybody else? All right. Social media. Post photos and descriptions of items that really now I got the other dog on me. Post items and descriptions of things you made. So I was gonna mention this to Dee is that you yelling the trailer you're making. If you want to post some pictures into that, I made this in Slack. We can still post that as like a member made thing. It doesn't have to be things that are made at the lab. It's just things that you've made that you want to share with the lab, and maybe it's a skill that you learned at the lab. So anything you make, feel free to post it in that group, and we'll try and get it on social media. I did a bunch of posts the other day. By a bunch, I mean like 3. But that's more than what we've been doing lately. So I'm trying to get back on it since I'm going to be kind of remote more than usual. So maybe that's something that I can actually tackle. But yeah, just make sure when you post something in there though that you give a little description so that we can post that along with the photo. If you want to be tagged, maybe it's something that you make for selling or whatnot or giving away or whatever. You just want some recognition, let us know. We'll tag you. But yeah, just make sure you give us some kind of description though, because when we post just photos, we get a lot of questions and we don't answer them, and then it looks bad. So, but yeah, the more we show off on Facebook, I've seen this as much as everybody loves Facebook, and Instagram and the socials. we tend to see an uptick in interaction and new people showing up. Whether or not that's directly related, I can't tell for sure, but I can tell you that it's at this point it's seeming a little bit less coincidental and more actually related. So I would love to do more posts on there. I'm going to try my best. That's another ops thing that we could hand off to. So if you have any interest in doing that, let me know. I can get you access and we can get more posts going. So I think we need to rearrange this. I always skip open discussion till the end. So the upcoming new events, woodworking is tomorrow. Justin talked about it a couple times. You guys are gonna try and work on the toys, right, Justin?
Yeah, that's correct. And if I fail epically in that, at least we'll play with the Xfire router. And work on that. Bare minimum, you'll know how to use that when we're done.
You'll learn something. The Fusion 360 Hangout. The next one is on May 25th. This is all remote. It's just virtual rather. We jump on, we share projects we're working on in Fusion 360, and we get to pick Mike's brain if he's not too busy at the time to show up, which I think he's been to most of them or all of them. But yeah, it's great if you want to learn stuff about Fusion 360. It's awesome. Mike will tell you all kinds of cool stuff, and then you'll feel like crap when he shows you all of his advanced stuff that you can do.
Yeah. He'll make something you spend hours on get like 10 minutes because he knows it.
Yeah.
It's his job.
Like, I'm working on this thing. I can't figure out a handle, and he shows me 8 different ways to make a handle that are like immaculate. I'm like, oh, okay.
And he just builds it as he's talking, and they're done in like 30 seconds. It's crazy. Mike, I know I talked to him. He's going to be definitely back into it for June. This May 25th one also being Sunday of Memorial Day weekend with his family. I'm not 100% sure Mike's going to make this one, Adam, just based on the conversation I had with him. So I don't want to raise expectations too high. But I'll drive in and he can work on my squares some more and things like that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll try and jump in on it. I kind of doubt I'll make it, but it's late enough to where I'll probably be done moving and hurting.
And sometimes so for a handful of us to get together and talk about stuff because
yeah, it's just a fun hangout. It's great because you can do it from home. It's no expectations or anything.
I forgot like 80% of what we learned in the fusion classes.
That's my experience. I've forgotten more that I've learned in the last 3 months than I learned. But so I try to go and just keep it top of mind.
Spaced repetition.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so Stitching is every Wednesday at 1:30. Outreach meeting, as we talked about before, is coming up the first Thursday at 7 p.m. I don't know why I can't read. Social night every Tuesday at 7:30ish. Board meeting second Monday 8 p.m. Open house second Tuesday at 8 p.m. and fourth Saturday at 1 p.m. Again, we need people for both those open house and the social night this month. So, in fact, if you plan on coming to them, I would say maybe just give a shout out in the general chat. Say, hey, I plan to be here at this day and this time, just to help with coverage and ability to do tours, just so we know that somebody will be there. Because if we don't get anybody saying they're going to be there, I may try and make it out, but it would be a struggle. So I'd really appreciate if other people could make sure and be there. Don't think it's a hard ask because I think we've had a lot of people show up during those anyway, so I think we'll be good. And then monthly membership meeting is the third Tuesday at 8 p.m. I don't know if we have any new members to introduce or want to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Katrina.
Shannon just joined us last week, so she's not even. She's one of the ones that's not in the member count at the top of the agenda because that's from board meeting to board meeting. So glad to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, I try to be. I plan on being here like every Tuesday for sure, and then I'm probably one of the people that's gonna sneak in here in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What kind of stuff do you want to make?
Yeah. Sorry?
What kind of stuff do you want to make?
robotics is my main focus.
Longest the hammer. You guys still playing?
Sorry, he's playing video games.
Took complaining.
So yeah, robotics is kind of my main focus. Like I write in Python, C++. I do code for fun. Self-taught. And just kind of want to learn how to work with, metal and servos and kind of like electronics and just start really building all kinds of stuff, kinds of cool stuff. I don't know, I'm just diving into an area I've never
Is it just 3D?
dived before and kind of feel like I found my calling, so it's weird.
You might have heard of
Nice.
They're called Arduinos. Have you heard that term before? It's a great way to merge your love of programming into robotics.
Okay.
Look up Arduinos. They're very cheap. ARDUINO.
Yeah, okay.
They're really cheap and they're very powerful for what
Sure.
you're paying.
Yeah, I just got a,
And it's based off of C++.
oh, okay.
There's the little
Well, now they can.
Gotcha.
pretty much anything. Some that run Python.
Right. I actually just got my Jetson Nano in, mini.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like that was fun. I was waiting for that to come in. I got it for when it was $200.
Oh, wow.
So I was waiting, like I was on back order.
Wow.
So that just got in. So now I need to build a case for it. Debating if I want a 3D print one or buy one off Amazon. I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking about it because I don't know.
Well, you could come to Fusion class on Sunday and design one 3D print.
Yeah, so,
That'd be the full circle.
right?
That'd be the circle of life in FamiLAB right there.
Right, because I'm sitting here like so I can offload tasks onto it. So, and I'm just like, that would be cool, like make a 3D printed case for it. So, yeah, I'm definitely
Nice.
into like the future, like what we're doing right now in the world. So that's kind of what I do.
I've done a lot of that kind of stuff. I have a whole
Nice.
bunch of stuff I can show you.
Ooh, cool. Yeah, Chester was showing me last week. Instead of getting like, he's like, showing me other boards of like Bagel Bone Blues. Instead of getting like Raspberry Pis, he's like, go for these and play around with these. And so I've already like, gonna grab a few of those and play with those. And so I'm already kind of like all over the place. Blueprints are like all over my wall right now. I kind of feel like a mad scientist, but yeah. And I'm also a huge anime nerd. So a big anime video game nerd myself.
Friday night, anime night, hosted
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
John.
Yeah,
Nice.
this week we're going to be having a White Serpent. It was the first color anime ever made.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
And-
like, I don't know.
You know, have you heard the name Hayao Miyazaki?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm almost 40.
When he watched that movie, it renewed his faith in animation.
Oh, okay.
If it was not for the White Serpent,
Mm-hmm.
we would not have Hayao Miyazaki as he is today.
Gotcha.
But it starts at 7,
Mm-hmm.
and
Cool.
the more the merrier.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
I come from the time of like
Everything
80s,
merrier.
like 80s, like Guyver. I'm a big Guyver fan. Like
Oh, wow.
Devilman, Domain Tank Police, Ghost in the Shell, like
Oh, that's
Appleseed.
hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm 41, and you're
Yeah.
saying that you're 39.
Yeah.
Those were old when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
So I grew up on those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you have an older sibling or a parent who's really into anime.
It was my parents. It was my
Okay.
parents. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't grow up on Bugs Bunny and stuff like that. I grew up on anime.
Roger Rabbit? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Right. I know you want to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
We'll circle back on
No,
this.
we can
circle
talk
back on
after.
it.
Go
Yeah,
for
exactly.
it. Go for
I was
it.
like, let's,
I used to be on the board for 2 different clubs, so I understand the minutes. Go for it.
oh, cool. Adam, back to you, sir.
Yeah. Anybody? Any other new members or no?
Jackson's gonna officially a member next month. Cool. Only thing I wanted to bring up for final or for other topics really quick. This Saturday, it is Memorial Weekend, but it is our next open house. We have a mom that works with the first robotics team
Mhm.
coming by to talk about maybe being able to use the classroom. I'm spending some time with her. She's gonna come to open house, which means she's gonna take away at least some of my time. So if we can definitely get somebody else that can come by, do some of the other tours that come up, I'd appreciate that. I'm not trying to be in 5 places at the same time.
Mhm.
That's all I had.
Alrighty. Cool. Thank you. I think that's it. Other than open discussion, but it's about 9 o'clock now, so I'd like to cut the meeting. I know you got a lot of you guys there, so I'm sure you could have awesome open discussions there, really, with everybody. But anybody have anything else before we end it? Going once, twice. Alrighty, thank you everybody that joined, both remotely and on site. And we'll go ahead and conclude the meeting for today.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming, Deep. Thank you. See you later, man.
I do. Bye, everybody.
Bye.